consider yourself a furry? Do you know what that is? I know you're young.
I do.
You do, yeah?
I've never thought about it.
You never partook?
Nope.
Maybe.
I feel like you wouldn't be the furry. I feel like you'd be the one doing the furry.
I thought furries
Maybe I
did
don't know
other
what a
furries.
furry is.
In that situation, are both partners furry, or is there one normal and one?
Wait, did the podcast start?
I don't know.
This is the podcast.
For real?
It's called Furry Talk.
So what's a furry?
Not what I thought. I thought you just wear like a tail.
What?
No. You get full.
What?
That's called a butt plug.
Don't bring me here
I
anymore,
thought
right?
you dressed as like a stuffed animal and like.
Yeah, that's what
The other
you wear
person's-
like a mascot almost looking outfit.
But then the other person's normal, right? Or they're
I
both
think
mascots?
normally they're both mascots. And
I
then
didn't
they
think this
fuck in
was
the
like a partner
costumes.
type thing. I thought it was like solo dolo.
Oh,
All right.
Man.
Mans gave us the clap.
All right, welcome back to
Pause.
another episode. I'm gonna run that back.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how we start the pod.
Welcome back to another episode of the Artist Roundtable. We have a very special guest from very far away, the other side of the country. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
we have Mr. Futuristic. How are you?
Sheesh. And the crowd goes wild.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
I'll be here till Sunday.
What's up, man?
Just out here vibing. This is very Midwest basement vibes. I'm glad to be here.
Heck
I
yeah.
feel like I'm on that '70s show.
You guys are great analogies. I
Yeah.
don't got nothing.
Killer
Same.
references. So I feel like all three of us kind of met you like in different stages, which is pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who do you think met you first? Did Tim meet you first, or did I?
It wasn't me. I'm out the conversation.
Probably the same year.
Yeah.
I think you probably met me first because I think I toured with y'all before I met you in person at South by. I think that was
Yeah.
the first time I met you. Was at
Yeah,
South
I
by,
don't
right?
think I had met you in person yet. I think we had connected digitally through
Yeah.
Jacob Owens, but that was
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
Through GMAD.
Yeah.
Yeah. Word.
But I'm pretty sure that's how I found out about you, was when Jacob was doing like the collab videos when it was like Kyle and Mr. Man and
Yeah.
all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then also full circle moment because we record these podcasts around our media days, which are the one take music videos, and kind of feel like you're the godfather of that shit.
Come on. I might have started a trend or 7 in my day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, just to let everyone know, how long have you been an artist for?
I mean, technically, my entire life. I did my first show in first grade. I remember a talent show. But I've been rapping literally since I was 5, 6 years old. But as far as professionally,
As like a lucrative business, like this is my job. and this is what I do.
Professionally, I've been living off music since like 2011.
15 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jager, how old were you 15 years ago?
10?
All right.
There it is.
All right.
Yeah.
11.
So we'll take a trip down memory lane. You might not be able to partake yet.
Oh,
We'll
no.
get to you. We'll get to you.
Okay.
Because I know he met you later on.
Yeah.
At one point.
But back in 2010, 2011,
Yeah.
that was the GMAD days, the blog days,
The blog days.
the touring with Mike Stud days.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that a little bit.
For sure.
Yeah. I wanted to ask this on our stream the other day. We had Sunreal on,
Okay,
Sunreal,
yeah.
and I got cut short because my mic wasn't working. But I wanted to ask him like what he remembered because he came on tour with us in like 2016, so like a decade ago.
Okay.
And you're talking like what year? Were you-
Before that, I think the first time I did a show with y'all would have been 2013.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
2013.
the Stud Nation tour.
Yeah. It was
What a
in
time to be alive.
I think it was in San Diego. I did like 3 or 4 in a row, and we tailgated the show,
Mm-hmm.
and it was next to a police department,
Yeah, I remember that.
and it had rafters. There was rafters
Yeah.
inside the building.
Someone climbed up on the damn
and was
rafters.
twerking. They was twerking. The girl was twerking on the rafters.
He's not lying. I remember.
And I think it was near the 4th of July because everybody in that video had patriotic stuff on. So I think, that's why we tailgated. We did a 4th of July,
Yeah.
I think, tailgate party outside. And
we tailgated our own show. I remember this. Yeah.
yes.
Dude,
I think
is
that was one of
amazing.
the first.
Beer pong tables, and we had a pinata full of condoms. I remember this
Oh
like it was
my God.
yesterday.
Yeah, you remember that exact show?
Yeah, I remember like yeah.
Yeah. So it was that time. So 2013.
Full of condoms.
Bro, it was
Yeah, I got the
crazy.
videos to prove it, man.
It was crazy.
Anyways,
How many?
The story gets even crazier too. That might not have been the first show I did with you actually, because Wozy did a GoPro video of that night, encapsulating the twerking in the rafters from a GoPro as a fan, and that's how I ended up hiring Wozy. Yeah, so it might have been a little bit later that was. That might have been like the second tour I did with them. You know what it is? Because first I met y'all in the Midwest because my brother booked you guys at the Castle Theater in Bloomington, Illinois.
I remember that. Yeah,
So
Like
that-
actual brother?
Yeah, my brother is
No
he's a
shit.
promoter in Bloomington, Illinois. We booked him there.
ISU?
And I would,
School?
yeah, right
Yeah.
next to ISU. And I always did the Midwest with y'all. And then when you came to Phoenix, I did Phoenix with y'all. And then then I started doing the Northwest, and then I did the full run. So it was like,
How many, at that point, what you said was like 2013-ish?
Yeah.
Had you done other tours before that? Or was this like your
everybody-
intro into touring? was
no,
with them?
everybody would. Well, I booked my own tours that did really terrible to start off, like touring way before I was
As they
supposed
all
to.
should.
Right.
That's a rite of passage.
Rental car vibe, 2012. I think I did
8
my first
people
one.
showing up.
Yep.
Maybe the crew's bigger than the audience. Yep,
Always.
yep.
Yeah. So 2012 we did that, and then 2013 I kind of started. Everybody would come to Arizona, and I would it'd be their biggest show of the tour a lot of times, like one of the best, and be like, why is there so? I would sell 300, 400 tickets as an opener.
Yeah,
So
you ran Arizona.
Yeah. So then they'd be like, well, we want you on Arizona, and I'm like, cool. Well, put me on Portland, Seattle, and LA, and I'll
Leverage.
do Arizona.
Leverage.
And so a lot of them would be like stuff like that, where it was like, the Funk Volume guys were coming through. They were coming through. Yellow Wolf was coming through. MGK was coming through. So it would be like I kind of worked that play in like 2011, 12, where like I opened and like I'll never forget MGK's like, dude, I signed your face like 400 times tonight. And I'm like, yeah, I gave out 500 CDs. Everybody and I sold 320 tickets in a 500 cap room with me and
it was
MGK.
basically my show. Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was like that was kind of like the vibes, and then it was like, cool, let me do this run, and then it would just kind of develop from there. So yeah, I did a lot of like 4 or 5, 6 stops back to back, and I would try to like string them together and call them a tour.
Man, and this was a time when you were setting up the little basketball hoop in the middle of the crowd and crowd diving and dunking that shit.
Yeah,
He still
yeah,
does that?
Did you do that at Holy Smoke?
yeah.
That's what I thought. He
do
did
it at
that
Holy
last
Smoke.
year.
Yeah.
Or whatever, 2 years
Yeah,
ago.
2024.
Yeah.
Yeah, my last tours.
You still got
2024.
it in you in the mid-30s? Look at that shit.
I don't jump as high. Don't jump as high.
The basket's a little closer.
The basket's a little closer.
Basket's a little closer.
for sure.
Damn.
For sure.
So all right, so we met during those days touring and then you met Tim when?
Same time.
Yeah.
Same time. I met him digitally first because honestly, GMAD was like the portal. It was like, that was kind of what opened up my eyes. Weirdly, I had a record deal on the table way too soon, again, from Motown. And
Shit, I forgot about that.
I had a deal on the table from like a subdivision of Motown, and I remember it was like, I don't know, maybe $50K or something. And I was so excited. Kid straight out of high school. I had put out one music video, and then I hired a lawyer and read the print, and I was like, oh no, this is so bad.
Yep.
And then right after that, I discovered MGK and Hobson, and then I discovered GMAD, which was like Mike Stud, John Bellion, Logic. And so that was kind of my foundation of like, okay, if I can get on a blog, then I can get views, then I can get fans, then I can tour. And I connected, like I have John Bellion's number from then. Like
Yep.
from that time, like connecting then, you know what I'm saying? So when all he had out was the slow motion Paper Planes video, which still today is one of my faves.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it was around that time where we met and chopped it up and just kind of, then we did the South by showcase and just stayed in touch.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward probably a decade. How'd you meet this guy?
He interned. So then fast forward to 2020, me and him started a company called Indie Amplify.
Yep.
And
Which also just started because I wasn't allowed to work in the music industry for a little bit after GMAD because
Yeah.
I got sued for breaching a non-compete. And I honestly never thought I was going to get back in the music industry. And then I was like,
and
well,
I started rolling out. I think I had posted the first video.
you hadn't even posted. All you did, it was, well, in my head, I was like, if I get back in, the one thing I learned was I don't want to be a solo entrepreneur. Like, I don't like all the responsibility on me. So I got to work with somebody else. And it was like 8 years after I'd known you, and you posted something on your Instagram story. It was basically just text, and it was like, next month, I'm gonna blow
Changing
your
the
mind.
independent game forever. something
Yeah,
crazy.
it was literally just text that said
Yeah.
something like that, and I was like, man, I fuck with Zach. Like, I'm gonna hit him and see what it's about. And then when you told me about it, I think at that time it was basically like you and Ep05, who shout out, but
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And then I remember reaching out to you and I was like, dude, this is well
Crazy.
needed. Like in the
Yeah.
last 3 months, I've had, I don't know how many fans get scammed and shit, or friends get scammed. And
Yeah. And then we just needed an intern to like, I think you actually reached out, right? Did
I
you
reached out like 3 times over the course of like 4 years, never heard back. You posted something, you were looking for a designer, followed up again, and Tanya got me with a reply back.
GOAT.
There
Tanya's
we go.
a GOAT.
Tanya is the GOAT. Yeah. Consistency is key, chat.
Yeah.
Consistency
yeah.
is key.
Amen.
I don't go
Amen.
down without a fight over here.
Yeah. And
Not a response is not a no. That's
until
what
I
say.
hear a no, I'm
Yep.
hitting you weekly
Exactly.
until you give me a
until you
response.
tell me to fuck off, and then
Yeah.
I'm like, great, all right, I'm
Yeah,
gonna go be
cool.
consistent somewhere else.
Exactly.
Yep.
Until they tell you no,
Yep. Amen.
proceed.
Damn,
Well,
so that's
in
how you
most
met Jay Griff.
situations. That's how I met Jay Griff. Yeah, he slid in the DMs, slid in the emails.
I got dicey
then-
in the DMs.
And then he interned. He interned, and then he was just always stay ready. You ain't got to get ready. Anytime I hit him for something, anytime we hit him for something, it's just like, boom, here it is. Yo, I got. He wasn't very good at first, to be honest.
I suck.
I'm like, yo, can you do X, Y, Z? Boom, he'll do it. I'm
He
like,
did
okay,
it quick.
cool.
He did it quick, but
Always.
not great.
So then I'm like, yo, make it like do. So he just took the criticism and everything really well. He worked quickly, and he always just had a great attitude, which is all. That's the winning formula.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah, that's everything.
Damn.
Yeah.
Now we're all here. Full circle moment.
Now we're here. Now we're here.
Unreal.
2026, dude.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So before I get into this and ask this question, explain to us like everything you got going on right now, because you're doing so much. I just want to
Yeah.
know everything you got going on.
Yeah. I mean, basically, my life consists of now management. For the last 5 years, I've been managing artists.
Who are you managing?
So wait, before we get to right now, because
Yeah.
there's 2 parts of right now that I am curious about that
Okay.
I've heard you talk about. One is like that shift in management, and the second one is the like Christian aspect of like the music and stuff, because
Yeah.
you went to me from like the GMAT days of like, you know, not frat rap, but like traditional rap that you would expect
Yeah.
with rap videos, and then rock.
Yeah.
And then it was like all different types, experimental, but then all of a sudden it was like Christian. So I'm just curious, like,
Yeah.
what was that experience like of like finding God or your version of Jesus or whatever? Yeah. How'd that come about?
Everything is so deep. Like when you like, my house was a melting pot. So when it came to music, like to do, like why I always dove into different genres and did different things, like. So people don't really know, like even WTF, like all my merch was always WTF. Well, that came from, because that was the name of my band. So I had a full band, and our whole goal was to play every style of music. That was what I thought was gonna pop me off. Then when music videos started happening and like actual recordings, back then you couldn't afford to record a whole band. So I just started doing stuff separately. And then when I started touring, I'm like, I can't bring a full band.
Were you rapping over the
I was
in the
rapping
band?
over rock
Yeah, okay,
production,
yeah.
like over rock stuff and reggae stuff and everything. But
That's why you vibe so well with Adam, right? Off the
yeah,
bat, too,
so
then.
so that was
Yeah.
like why I always was musically, like my brother plays heavy metal guitar, my sister loves country, like I grew up with everything. So that's like the genre thing. And then Christianity, like, you know, the short version of I chased God my whole life. And, you know, they call it church hurt. Like, it always was a girl. Like, the first girl I ever liked, shout out Casey Galladay. First girl I ever liked, literally, like, I would go to her family's house, and her dad was a pastor, and I would go to church with them. And then, you know, the dad ended up having some whole other stuff, right? So, like, church hurt. Then, you know, my mom became a Jehovah's Witness for a while. And then somebody in that church did something super vile, more church hurt. Then I dated this girl in 8th grade who, you know, we're virgins and all, you know, and then she ends up losing her virginity to a dude after I finally go to church with her. And then she goes out and does some like church hurt. So, and then I meet my wife now, you know, and she was big in her faith. So always a woman.
Yeah,
you
she's
know?
a rock star.
Yeah,
Your wife's the best.
My wife, you know, and she never pressured me into it. But what really changed it all was when I had kids and I got sober. But the design of a woman's body, like my wife went all natural. So like I'm learning about the human body, and she's not doing what most women are doing, where they're their pregnancy is almost like a burden to them. Like to her, it was the most beautiful thing. And she's doing breath work and she's eating all the right things and she's stretching and she's just doing all this stuff. And I'm learning about the human body. And then even after we had my first son, it's like, oh, he's got eczema. Well, let me eat this thing and let me shoot breast milk on him. And now his eczema's gone. I'm like, dog, ain't no way that there's not a God when everything that we need to cure our own bodies is already here on earth, right?
Facts.
So like that was that. And then it was like because I juggle so many different things and because I'm like a really analytical and critical thinker, everybody would call me like Mr. Wishy-Washy because it was like tough for me to make a decision because I had to think it all the way through. So she was like, just pray about it and you'll start getting clarity. And so that was like the start, was like, just pray. And bro, it'd be like,
and were those first prayers like more meditating, or did you already believe like?
No, like I've doubted.
Did you go from being like, there's got to be a higher power to being like, oh shit?
I feel like I always wanted there to be a higher power, but at the same time, I'm so logical that I always doubted it. And I guess another wrinkle that kind of turned me off from faith was like when my grandma passed, I started like wondering where she went. And anybody that I talked to that was Christian was like, well, if she didn't have a relationship with God, she went to hell. So like that's like such a harsh thing to say and such a harsh thing to feel. And so I was like, well, if God's like that, I don't want nothing to do with him, you know? So it was just all these different like things that almost made me doubt. And from me doubting, when people would tell me, yeah, like just pray, I'm like, cool, I'm gonna just pray. He ain't gonna do nothing. And then it'd be like, boom, he does, you know? Or like test the Bible and then boom, this great thing happens. And like, so it was just like me almost trying to disprove that God is real, proved that he was real.
And around that time of you having your first kid and doing that, is that also when you got sober?
Yeah. My sobriety
because the first time you did it just as like a test, wasn't it like a test?
I
like, can I do 180 days or like?
I tried 30 days.
30 days.
And then I tried 50 days, like dating back to like 2019.
Yeah.
When I got off my tour I think it was the tour in 2019, I went to the movies the next day after tour was over and I just started sweating profusely in the movie theater. I'm like, why am I sweating? Oh, because it's 2:00 and I haven't had a drink.
Withdrawal, yeah.
Withdrawal.
So I'm like,
not having a handle every day.
I think that was the first time where I like, oh, I'm gonna go 30 days. And then I went 50 days and then I failed and then just went back to it, whatever. But then after I had my first son, you know, like you experience your first hangover with your kid jumping on you, which isn't fun. And then my dad lived like 5 minutes away from me, but one night was drinking and then drove home and I was just thinking like, yo, like it's way more serious than just me now, you know? So that was like another thing. And then after that day, drinking just started to like actually not feel good, like physically, which is weird because I've been drinking. It just started to like not feel good to me. And so I drank a couple times and then I had a show in Vegas. Dang, it's so much. I had a show in Vegas and I told you I've been rapping since I was 5. The dude who I idolized as like a 7, 8, 9-year-old who was in high school with my brothers was opening for me in Vegas. I'm talking about this is the first dude I ever smoked a joint with when I was like 10 or 11 years old. Like
your idea of cool. My idea of cool.
Like he was a star football player, got a full-ride scholarship, had all the girls, smoked, drank, whatever. He opened up for me and he's like, yeah, I've been sober for this long. I've been celibate for this long. I've been vegan for this long. Like just the most disciplined dude ever. And so we just sat in the green room and chopped it up. My rider was there, my 2 bottles of Ciroc, my Jameson, all that stuff. I took one sip, felt nasty, set it down, went and got a coffee. And since that day, I haven't drank.
Wow.
Congrats, bro.
Congratulations.
That's fucking awesome.
You said it's been 3 years now?
Yeah, over 3 years.
That's
December
amazing.
2nd
Congrats.
of last year was 3 years.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Kind of
And
crazy,
then,
bro.
And then so also then, because how old's your oldest
He's 4.
son? Is 4. So then this is all around the same time because then you were talking about managing being about 5 years.
Yeah.
So also around that time, talk about the like, because that's a very unique thing to go from artist to I want to manage artists.
Yeah.
So like, what's that?
I think if you like look back at it, yes and no, because like I used to pitch you Kyle's music.
Totally.
I used to be
Without
like,
a
yo,
doubt.
this is Kyle. And I remember Nolan being like,
I wouldn't be friends with Kyle if it wasn't for you and you being persistent. Yeah.
all the time.
And I told you yesterday when I saw you still have that ear. You
Yeah.
were like, yeah.
I usually like Kyle was the first artist where I was like, this dude's gonna be bigger than me. He's better than me. Like, he's
Super
in my
duper
lane
Kyle.
and he's better.
KID.
KID. He's better than me. Like, and that was the first time I like really felt that. And I'm like, well, I could either combat that or I could try to help that. So like even back then, that was kind of always the thing. And then Devon. Devon was the second one where I was like, oh, this guy's got to be a star. So I partnered with Devon and we had the same manager, and it was like any opportunity I got that I could put him on, I put him on. And so like that kind of always was with me the whole time. And then when I basically like fell out of love with being the artist and I moved back to Arizona specifically like to start a family and to do all my other business ventures, it was like that was just one of the things that kind of fell into my lap. But management wasn't first. I started a record label with Big Dawes TV.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. I started a record label with Big Dawes, and it was based off viral pranks because I did the Nerd Raps and Compton thing. That's what popped me off. So I'm like, bro, let's just do this for other artists.
Yeah.
And so the first kid we signed never had put out a song. He did a McDonald's rap. Dawes didn't like the video, so he created a whole nother channel, or basically a reject channel, for the songs that he didn't think were gonna blow, and it got 14 million views on a channel with 0 subscribers.
Jeez, that was T-Easy.
T-Easy. And exactly. And then the second artist, we brought in Vinjay, we brought in Gone, we brought in Michael Minelli. And
are these all ones that you just find on the internet?
Found them on the internet.
Yo, you're dope if you come through AZ or something.
And we did the coolest deals because it was a 3-song deal. So 3 songs, 50-50 split. You get a viral prank, a feature, and a music video. We dropped the 3 songs and you can go do whatever you want. Yeah. So it was like a perfect deal for any art. No matter how big of an artist you were, like
it's fire.
Why would you not do one prank with a dude who has 10 million subscribers and get a feature from me at the time who every song I dropped was still getting 1 million and just run that play? Amazing. So that was kind of it. Then COVID happened. Then I started Indie Amplify. And so it was just all this different stuff of like,
which also you decided to launch, I believe, the week before your wedding or something like that.
Terrible idea.
He's literally like, hey, man, we're going to hype it up. The system is not set up to scale right now. You're about to deal with a ton of emails. And Tanya even left for a little bit because she was on the... I know. And I'm just sitting there like, yo,
the first day and crashed.
Tanya and Zach are just, what? Yeah, that sure was nuts.
It was crazy. So I still mix up the dates. One of them's October 5th and one of them's October 13th. The wedding day and the day we launched Indie Amplify. Sometimes I mix them up.
I'm sure she loved that.
Yeah. I'll say it like she thinks like right now. I'm kind of confused which one is
which. Which one is which?
Yeah. I think October 13th was the wedding day.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
October 5th was Indie Amplify.
It was Indie Amplify. Yeah.
There it is.
Because I remember I think you left either like a day or two after the launch for the wedding, or for the honeymoon.
Yeah.
It was like within however long. It was
crazy.
Indie Amplify was great, but I also think Indie Amplify makes sense with the management and like what you were talking about with the analytical mind.
Yeah.
Of like, I think I heard you. I think it may have been an Indie Amplify podcast when you were talking about like, okay, I want to get in with the Funk Volume crew. And like, I want to do something with Hobson. So like, that's too big. So like, let me start low. And like, you were always very methodical.
Yeah.
So when you believed in somebody, you wanted to help them know the method to get there.
Exactly.
And like, it's part of the reason I fucked with you. And like, I don't have a lot of friends for 15 years like you. And we've gone through highs and lows. We've had arguments. I know your wife, you know mine. Like, I don't have a lot like that. But I think part of that comes from, I do believe every single thing you've done since I've known you has always been not just to better yourself, but for somebody else.
No, for
and that's
sure.
admirable in the music industry.
Appreciate it.
And then, and so like when you were doing the record label stuff, obviously we're all here friends with Minelli.
Yeah.
And like love the man to death.
Yeah.
What felt different from like wanting to like just help somebody and get the feature and just do that to be like, I want a day-to-day, like, be in this with this person. It's almost like a second marriage.
It had to be the hair.
He didn't have the hair at that time.
That's right.
Bro, he looked like a
totally
Jersey
different.
Shore guy.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
It's kind of
That's like
crazy.
Nick D with the long hair. It's like you don't want to see somebody when like,
once you get to know him a certain way. It kind of actually, so there was Mike. And at that time, I had also met a couple I met Oswin Benjamin and Cannon and Chris Rivers, and they were being managed by this dude, George.
Yep.
And so George wanted to like manage folks together. And I'd kind of been throwing the idea around, and I was like, well, if I'm gonna do that, I gotta manage. Like, I want to manage Mike. But me and Mike just, honestly, what it was too was, yeah, because we did the Dropout Records thing, and at first I didn't like Mike because he was the smallest artist, but he had the biggest demands. He was like, yo, when I get to Arizona, like, I need a fan by the bed. Like, I need all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, like, cause Vinjay was already popping, Gone was already popping. Every other artist I brought through, I'm like, they're down for whatever and they don't care. Mike has these demands. I almost canceled it. I'm like, dog, like, he's asking me all these questions about the splits. I'm like, dude, it's a DistroKid split. It's not that crazy. Like, you're gonna get 50, we're gonna get 50. This is what it is. And so, but then when he got there, I always say, like, I can tell when somebody played sports because there's just like a certain like camaraderie of like team and like sport and like go get it and drive and competitiveness that like he had.
It's a friendly competitiveness. It's like, I'm pushing you to be better because like you can think about somebody on your same team. And if I'm on a team with you, I want the best out of you. So like, yo, you fucking slacking right now. Like you get that little aggressive.
We think the exact same. So he's very methodical too. Like he was breaking it down to me. Like we weren't even really friends like that. I invited him to my wedding and he was like, bro, I was broke. I had $0. Like I spent my last money to buy a flight to come to your wedding to just show you how down I was. And then he just started sending me songs. Cause I was trying to do Coast to Coast 2 with Devon, and Devon, of course, was slacking per usual. And so Mike is like, we're just gonna do it. And he starts sending me songs. Sends me like 20 songs. I'm like, all right, this one's tough. Let's run it. And so he was just persistent, consistent, and we just became best friends through that process. And he actually wouldn't let me manage him. He didn't have faith that I could manage him, so he went with somebody else. But he kept hitting me to do stuff for him, and I'm like, all right, dog, at this point, I've been helping you for a year. We gonna make this thing official or what? You know what I'm saying? So like that's kind of where it all started, and then it just grew from there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. So I have two questions, kind of just generally. Like, what made you want to like go through that switch of being an artist where like kind of all the focus is on you to like being more of a mentor and helping other artists?
Yeah.
And then secondly, I think just like being kind of like in the game for as long as you did, I kind of like want to know your views on what you think it takes to be a successful artist today.
Word.
And like the pretty much the knowledge you instill in the people that you're managing now.
Yeah. First I would say like it's kind of crazy. Once again, like started really young. So like my career still to me feels like it started when I was 5 because I was going after it for so long. So like Nick D talks about it. Like I remember the exact moment where I felt like I beat the game, you know? And that was at the end of my world tour in 2016, which is a very long time ago.
Yeah.
But I just remember feeling like, cool, you did it. Like millionaire by 25, got to tour the world, got to do all this dope stuff. But I'd never had taken a vacation. I had never like taken any time to just like invest in myself unless it was business. So I just went on like a life spree of just living life and like wanting to do other things. So at that point I had just felt like, what's next? Like I beat the game, what's next?
I want to stop you there because that's a very interesting thing, and that's one I can relate to, and that's why I'm 37 and I'm not married with kids yet, because I feel like, especially when we were coming up, I just think in general, like you have to have such tunnel vision and you have to really be like, you just have to dive in completely.
Yes.
It has to be your life.
Yes.
Especially if you're touring.
Yes.
Especially if you're
and
touring.
nobody can get in the way of it.
You talk about the music creation, then you talk about going on the road and everything that surrounds that and just hustling. That's your life.
24/7.
And in order to do it, you have to be available all the time for any opportunity.
And like, sometimes family life doesn't coincide with that. It doesn't mix very well.
No.
And I remember there was just 10 years where like, that's all I knew.
Yeah.
I lived with Mike. We lived in New York, LA, and like, that's all we did.
Yeah.
I wasn't focused on anything else other than just like building whatever the fuck we were doing.
Yeah.
So you can relate to that, and that's what you were doing, right?
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Like that was from, like I said, from the time I was a kid, I was like, this is what I want to do.
Institutionalized.
Yeah. And so that's all that I cared about, all that I did. I wouldn't spend $1 if it wasn't for on my music. I wouldn't go nowhere if it didn't have to do with my music. And even like, it was hard to like adjust to like having a girlfriend because I could only deal. I told her, I'm like, you can only be here for 3 days. Like my wife now, like I had a 3-day rule with my wife. Like, yo, after 3 days, you have to leave. Like You cannot stay here for more than 3 days. I couldn't, bro, because I have to get back to the grind.
Yeah.
And so it gets weird after 3 days. So
I feel that.
Yeah, so like that's kind of just what I was uncomfortable if I was not working.
Yeah.
And so it was like a crazy thing to figure out how to break that, to figure out how to like just live life was like actually like weird.
So you think in 2016 you hit a breaking point?
And what do you think?
Yeah.
So like when you say like you think you beat like you had the cheat code, you made it. Is it the world tour that made you feel like, what was the thing where you were like, I fucking did it, I can take the breath, and now what's that? Like what's that sense of accomplishment?
I wanted to be a millionaire. I told my dad when I was a kid that I was going to be a millionaire off music by the time I was 25 years old. And so when I turned 25, my next goal was
That's like the opposite of the Macklemore song. That's like, it's not dope to be 25 and move back to your parents' basement.
Yeah. And I was like, at 30, I want to be married with a kid. I got married at 30 and I had a kid at 30. Like, it was just like these goals. So like when I hit that benchmark, I was like, cool. Moved out of LA, bought the crib, started other businesses. So that was just like kind of what it was. And it was definitely a lot of trial and error of figuring out like what was next. But like I was laying on stage in Tucson, Arizona, just being like the crowd cheer, like almost like an out of body experience where I'm just laying on stage, exhausted, gassed. Like, bro, I used to tour nonstop.
Yeah.
Cause I would do like 3 opening tours a year and headline every year.
It was insane.
Like, you know, you guys pretty much only like toured your crew. Like I would go tour with y'all.
We wouldn't do more than like.
You also did like Vans Warped Tour and shit.
Did Warp,
Yeah,
did
you were
Tech
doing-
Nine.
yeah.
I did tours with the people that did 55 shows and, you know.
just
and,
for perspective, like a busy year, how many shows in a year for you?
I don't want to exaggerate.
Yeah.
Between 150
100.
and 200.
Yeah, I would have said 125 would have been like a minimum, and then
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because you would definitely
Yeah.
have
That's
two. You
crazy.
would definitely have 2 runs that would be,
I'd
especially
be
if
off
you
for
the
2.
opening.
I usually was only off for
35 to
touring for
40
like 2 to
dates
3 weeks.
just from tour.
Yeah, that's we never did more than 70 or 80 in a year, and that
Yeah.
felt insane. to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, bro, but in 1 year I did Tech Nine and Warp Tour and a headline, and that was 50 shows in 55 days, 41 shows in 50 days, and then 37 shows in like 45 days.
Yeah, that's
Whoa, that's a lot.
Yeah. So like I was just burnt out, and
And
I
I'm
was
sure the accommodations weren't that great.
no.
You know.
Yeah, and it was a grind. It was a grind.
That's what I'm saying, like,
it was a grind.
yeah.
So like people think it's this glorious thing, and
Yeah.
sure, it is, and it's the most amazing thing in the world. But when you've done it for so long, it's kind of like I just was at a what's next moment, and so yeah, that was that. And I tell people now, it's like I was telling you yesterday, like I get why Logic said he was retired. I get why Jay-Z said he was retired, and it's not that like, oh, I'm retired, I'm hanging it up, you're never gonna see me again. It's like, no. There's a competitive aspect of trying to make it as an artist that eventually you kind of lose. And it in an amazing way, hopefully. Sometimes in a bad way, but usually in an amazing way if you can let your ego go and move on to the next season.
Just gonna say that ego
So-
has everything to do with it.
Yeah, so like I'm a retired, like LeBron James is gonna retire in 2 years. He's still gonna be better than 80% of the people in the NBA. He's still gonna be able to go into any gym and be great. He's just not competitively pursuing being the best player in the world anymore. That's how I feel. Like, I'm still going to rap better than 80% of people that rap. I'm still going to make good music. I'm just not competitively trying to go out there and do what you guys are doing.
Play the game.
I'm not playing the
Yeah,
game
I feel like
anymore.
if somebody came at you with like trying to start beef, you would just kind of be like,
Back
yo,
out.
honestly, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be better than you. And if not, you'd probably just be like, yo, let me just help you.
Bro, to be honest, like on stream, we've had a couple people that are like that. Like I had a dude send in a diss track on stream, and we just prayed for him. Like in the most, like dang, like if like you really feel away, I apologize. B, the fact that you're this upset, like
Yeah.
there's some things you got to work out. C, like let's pray about this, and for me and for you, because I don't want to respond either. You know,
It's
so
a really grown way to handle that.
definitely different than I would have handled it in 2015.
Yeah.
Question for you. You said 2016 was like a good breaking point for you. I don't know if good is the right way to describe the breaking point, but
Yeah.
just like a substantial moment where you felt that shift.
Yeah,
Nowadays, the kids are saying 2026 is the new 2016.
crazy. I've seen that post a lot. Yeah.
How do you feel
What
about
does that
that?
mean?
Yeah, I don't even understand that. That's how old we are. That's how old we
Everybody's
are.
posting their highlights of 2016. I don't get why. I mean, it's 10 years ago. So it's just like
is that why Creason was sending this?
Yeah,
this
everybody's
stuff?
just posting 2016.
Yeah, I think because
2016 was a crazy year.
It was. It was insane.
Yeah. If I mean, we were on a reality show in 2016. Bro.
I was on that tour.
Oh, okay. You were on the Back to You tour then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like an alternate universe. That was like a different time.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah. 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 What was the second part? Second part of that question.
Oh yeah, today's climate with artists. So like you're managing, and like today's climate is way different than the blog era, way different than that portal.
But you're coming from a place of experience and mentorship.
Yeah.
And it's like, how does that feel for you? And like what knowledge are you instilling in these?
Because I got to imagine it's not just like, here's how to go viral. There's got to be some of it that's like, yo, here's how to also be happy. Like, here's kind of shit. Like, there's a little bit that's like, if I could go back, here's almost what I would do.
I mean, there's so much that goes into it, and every artist is completely different. So, like, when it comes to management, I mean, it's like, who are you, first of all?
Yes.
Like, you have to identify who you are, because that's who you're going to attract. Who you are, what you represent, what's your niche, what makes you special, and how can we amplify that in the best of ways. That's like, grassroots of what it is. And then is
that what makes you want to sign somebody over the talent? Is you find out who they are and you fuck with it?
A brand is more important than the talent, I think. Yeah, like
I think talent's subjective, and like you can't always say that. But if somebody knows who they are, they're self-aware, they're hardworking, they're authentic. Mm-hmm. It's like, yo, we're gonna find the tribe.
Yeah,
we're
gonna find the tribe.
We'll find that indie tribe.
Yeah, I think another thing that I'm good at is like the money aspect. I think I'm pretty good at the money aspect of like, I was able to make way more money than a lot of my peers way earlier, like even before I was touring, just because like understanding value and understanding how to bring value, and then understanding the seasons of like consumerism.
Totally.
Right?
I mean, you
like,
would have campaigns around iTunes and shit that like you were making good money off just iTunes at one point. Like, yeah, you had you were very methodical with like
even
your time, like whether or not you even knew the term ROI of like return on investment. If I'm gonna put my time and my energy into something, I gotta know how it's gonna pay off.
Exactly. So it's like I just try not to miss like the moments that you can monetize. It's like anything that we're doing, it's like, well, what's the intent of this thing? Why are we doing it? How are we doing it? And how can we make money off of it? Mm-hmm. Like, so like everything that we do is kind of like, not that everything is for the money, but like, that's kind of like where I usually can come in right away and make a difference. Is like, oh, like you weren't going to do a Black Friday sale? Let's do one. Oh, now it's Cyber Monday. Let's do that. Oh, you have this. Let's do this. Oh, you don't have this. Let's set this up. Let's just register all your stuff you haven't registered. Like, it's kind of just like going in and like cleaning house first to make sure the foundation is built. And then from there, strategizing, like planning a whole year. I'm always a year ahead too, like, which you have to be.
Yes.
So it's just always like, what's your plan for this year? What's your goal for this year? And then working backwards from that, which most people are just like,
amen.
Let's preach. I mean, literally preach. That's like the one thing. And it also, to me, that's like a right time frame where it prevents you from being overwhelmed. Because a year. Because like if you set 5-10 years and you're like, yo, I got to sell at Madison Square Garden, you have no idea what to do today. Like today, it's like, wait, do I have to do social media? What am I supposed to be doing? But if you set 1 year and you're like, yo, I want to be at this spot, then to calculate every second, is this helping me get to that goal?
Right. Yeah. And the formula, if you think about it, the formula really, it's changed, but it hasn't. The fundamentals of the formula have always been an album a year, a headline tour a year, open for somebody a year. Your album needs 3 features, and you need singles. That's kind of like the formula that, like, within a year, those things almost have to happen.
Yep. And whether or not you're putting out the album nowadays as an album, or it's just 18 songs and then 3 of those have banger ones, so you're dropping a song every 3 weeks.
Right.
Like, that might be the new one, but it's still the same idea of having the same amount of body of quality work.
So I still follow that structure of like, if I were to take an artist and like start managing them today, it'd be like, give me all the music. What's the best 3 songs? Let's go get features on these 3 songs. When can we drop the tape? Who do you align with? Start networking with those people so that we can start touring and working and doing stuff with them. And then you take that tour, we book your tour, and as soon as this tour is over, we announce yours and what things do. And then it's just the in-betweens, like, the content, okay, this is your videographer and you're shooting with him every week. And then are you putting it into grouped? Are you really big in text marketing? Like, do you want to text fans? Do you still care about like music videos, and does your YouTube crack? You can't do it all. You can't do all of it.
Find your lane.
Or
Find the thing that
until one gets to the point where either you're efficient enough or you're making enough money where somebody else can come in and then it makes sense.
it.
Yep.
But even then, like you kind of want to have a hub.
Nobody does it all.
You know, like you want to have a hub for the things that like you do. Like you don't want to have a Discord and a grouped and a community number
that you can text me at, and an Instagram subscription community.
Yeah, all those things. It's like, yo, you're spreading your fans too thin. They don't know where to go. Just make the one thing incredible and crush that. Yeah. So
y'all are
that's kind of like what it is. It's like, album, 2 tours, consistent content, and then the in-between membership situation that like gives you the connect with the fans.
The people that want more. Yeah. It's like, yo, you have to be good enough, authentic enough to create the relationship, even if it's an opener or even if it's you're going viral.
Exactly.
What's the more?
Yeah.
And like, you pick your thing. If it is text marketing, great. But like, that's why we believe in the group side. I'm curious between whether it's in the music side on your own career and the management, or on the business side. I know you've done stuff with like Jacob Owens. I know you've done the indie and other stuff. Do you have like regrets or like looking back as like, man, that was foolish, or like I should have looked at that? Cause like, you know, somebody like I've had 3 companies successfully get acquired, but I've also had 3 that I fucking lost years and money on. So but everybody has a different term for like regret, whether or not they feel that. But do you ever look back and you're like, man, that was a dope idea. If I knew what I knew now, I like would have done that different.
Yeah, the 2 people you told me to hire, I wouldn't have hired them.
Who was the second? Wait, Adam
and Taylor.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that dude. That was
I don't know who that dude honestly, was. Indie Amplify was the biggest. And people don't know, but like Indie Amplify was the biggest. I think had the most upside.
Yep.
But cost me so much money.
Yep.
And I had just came off selling my catalog.
Yep.
So I was sitting on a big chunk of money, and it felt endless. So it was just like I was putting a lot of money into it, knowing.
But when you started it, when I came in, it was still pretty lean. It was basically just Tanya, lean. Me, and then Ifri's had built the site. But
and he wasn't even still.
Yeah, but it was like less than $5K in expenses.
Yeah,
and
so
then
it was really lean, and then
and then all of a sudden expenses go up. Yeah,
I never scaled a company, and that was the lesson that I learned. Like, I don't even want to.
Yep.
Like, I don't want to scale a company. I don't want to be a billionaire. I don't want to run, just like you said, I don't want to run 20 employees. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, I like working with the people that I rock with. And I think that's why I've loved management so much. Is like, yo, it's me and you against the world. Yeah. And yes, there's team members that come in and like other people, you got your booking agents and things like that. But it's like, it's me and you and then these extensions of us. And like, we're tunnel vision and this is what we're doing. I like that way more. So, but like, if I could go back and change anything, I wouldn't have not done Indie Amplify. I would have just done it a little bit differently. And then when I was at my peak of, bro, I didn't track anything. Like, to put it like this, a couple people stole from me.
And I got track finances. Is what you're talking about.
A couple people stole from me, and I got sued all in the same year. So talk about like a reset. So the year that I made $1 million, or well, yes, I did make $1 million that year. I bought my house.
We're talking 2015.
This is 2016, 17.
That's literally when I got sued for breaching my non-compete.
So I bought a house.
What's up with that?
Right? Crazy year. Bought a house. Fired my manager because he was just being reckless. Not even on money stuff. I didn't catch him on the money stuff till after I fired him. Fired my manager and found out that there was like $150,000 that had been stolen. I got sued while I had my manager. He told me it was handled. And then I woke up one day and $267,000 was gone out of my account. Oh, God. So think, I just bought 2 houses. One of them I bought in cash. So I spent $500,000, got sued, got audited, all in the same year. So that's part of the reason why I sold my catalog, because literally I'm like, oh, got $1 million.
I don't think
and then it was gone. I don't think I've ever even told you this.
I don't think I knew you got audited, because I thought I was the only person I knew that
got audited twice.
Same. After you get audited once, you basically are guaranteed to get audited a second time.
I got audited twice, 60 bands, and then you get a late fee for every W-9. You get a late fee and you get a penalty on every W-9 you don't send. So I got audited. So basically in 1 year, lost like $800,000.
Yep.
Which is insane to even say out loud.
Totally.
Yep.
And so like it changed everything. Like that changed like even like my value of money, all that changed. So if I could go back in time, I would have taken that lawsuit a little bit more serious. I would have looked into my stuff. And even like when I was on tour, bro, I didn't even have inventory on my merch.
Yeah.
Back then.
Yep.
My guy would come back to the bus wasted and be like, made 5 bands and put it in my bunk.
And hopefully the merch makes it back onto the bus.
And we would go out and party.
Yep.
Like that was literally what it was. Like, yo, yep, we did great tonight. Here it is. I'm sure y'all probably had a similar situation. I actually remember Mike and Blue getting into it on that tour and me being like, looking at my merch guy and being like, yeah, you're messing up too, bro. But I just remember Blue being wasted, pants around his butt, and like taking the merch out, and Mike being like, dude, you need to take this seriously. This is a real job. Like, you're not just out here to get drunk while we're all drunk.
While Mike was probably on stage with his pants around his ankles.
I was also drunk.
Yep.
But it was just like one of those, but that was just how we was living.
Yeah.
We was just
Totally.
living the good old life. And so like, but I never tracked the merch.
Yeah.
And then found out like all that. So yeah, I would have just been a little bit more into business. But all in all, lessons learned.
Amen.
Life goes on, seasons of life. You lose people, you gain people, and people that are with you at certain times. They were meant to be, even everybody that stole from me, like, love them dudes to death. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy because I know for sure both of them would have took a bullet for me. You know? So at the end of the day, whatever they needed the money for was clearly more important than what I needed it for. And it is what it is, and you just keep going.
And that, I mean, realistically, that's why I rocked with you though, because like, I mean, I didn't realize how similar the time frames in the stories were, but like the dude who sued me for breaching the non-compete, I never said I hated anyone, would never speak ill will. Like, and if there was anybody, it would have been them. But I went to his wedding. Like, I went to that dude's wedding, and then the second person that doesn't need to be named from Ep05 that said to me some of the most hurtful shit that I've ever heard. Second chance, and gave him another chance. But like, to me, it was always like, as you said, like, just pray about it. Like, mine was like, I'm good. So if I'm good, there's nothing that somebody's going to say to me that's going to mess it. I'm going to assume that you're not good. If you're bringing this negative energy, like, as you said, you can say pray, but like, I almost want to help more because I'm like, there's no way. I don't want to believe that you're evil.
It's baffling.
Like, what is it?
It's literally baffling. Like, dang, like, crazy. But like, love you, dog. I just got to go in a different direction.
I feel like when stuff happens like that, though, like the way I try to view it is like, this is going to happen to me. So anyone who's almost in a similar boat, I could advise you in some way to steer clear of that so you don't have to go through that too.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get into. I mean, I feel like now with all this experience under your belt, all the mistakes, all the bad shit that happened, you're coming from this place of like real knowledge where you can give so much value to people.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I'm 37 years old, so like I felt it the last couple of years where it's like, been through this shit, and you see these young artists, and like, how does that feel coming from a place of experience to provide that kind of value to people?
I mean, it's amazing, bro. Like, it's just amazing to like, especially like, I'll just use Michael Minelli as an example, like, to see him go from not having anything to like really living off of his music and achieving his dreams and like and being able to negotiate every deal with
Works
him
his
and
ass
like
off.
and like just be there in the trenches, and it's really just me and him, like, you know what I'm saying with that. And so it's been one of those things that's just been beautiful. And like, bro, I've cried tears of like, he'll get something and like when he achieves something, like I would cry over that before I would cry over something of my own, you know, like and it's kind of crazy. I had to evaluate the other day, because it's like, I still make a good amount of money doing like what I do, but I push it to the side to do stuff for all the artists that I manage. And so like, I had to evaluate it the other day, and I'm like, okay, so this has to happen for me to make as much money as I'm making doing this, which is way easier to do the thing I do over here. And I was just like, but you know what? Like, I get way more joy out of that. I genuinely do. And so, yeah, being able to, and what's cool too is like every milestone that, you know, he's hit along the journey, like I've hit that milestone. And so like the life advice starts to come in, like getting your first crib, and like you want to just do everything. I'm like, you know, or like, you know, from every part of the business, like when there's girl problems, when there's life problems, when there's money problems, when there's, I don't feel like doing this anymore problems, when there's, you know, something in the contract that you don't understand, like being through every situation is really cool to just be like, I got you, bro.
Yeah. Do you ever deal with any of your artists having self-doubt?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
What are those conversations like?
It depends on the artist.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Every artist is a little bit different, so it's like any other relationship. You have to approach it different, right? Like some artists you can yell at,
be harder on you.
Other ones you can't. It's like, you know, you coach a basketball team. It's like you know how to approach each player. So yeah, it's kind of like that. But a lot of times it's more so like sometimes you just need to listen. You don't even need to give advice. It's like, yo, I'm just here to listen to you.
That's facts.
And so like I'm just like, well, how you feeling? Why are you feeling like that? What do you want to do? Are you sure that's what you want to do? Okay, how do you want to go about it? And then usually if I let them get everything out, bro, within 2 days, they're like, all right, we're taking over the world. And I'm like, glad to have you back.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But usually I found that when people usually come to you with a problem, they're not actually looking for a solution 9 times out of 10.
Facts.
They just want to vent and get it out and know that you're still there.
Yeah.
And then maybe you can give your answer later. So I was thinking about it. After everything you said, I've put it together, and this is what I think. How do you feel? But normally they get there by themselves.
Yeah. I think that's true in relationships, too, just with women.
Yeah. They're not looking for solutions.
I had
They
to
just wanna
learn the
yell
hard
at
way.
you.
Dude, honestly, you give a solution sometimes. You're sleeping on the couch. Yeah.
I will say that I have found, like, okay, we'll probably everybody watching this is an artist. This worked for me. I don't know if it'll work for everybody. Quality time, right? Has your girl ever complained about quality time? I need more time? I need more time.
100%. Also, right before we started the podcast, got one of the sweetest things, which was just because in between work and doing the podcast, I went back to check the mail and I spent 15 minutes with no screens or anything, just talking
Quality
to her.
time.
And she literally sent me the sweetest text. It was like, I felt so loved and seen. And it was 15 minutes.
So
Also, how bad is that for me though? That 15 minutes.
Right? Nah, it's everybody's is different. So me and my wife, I thought I was giving her so much quality time. She didn't think I was giving her enough. So we logically, me being me, I'm like, okay, I need you to logically break down what is quality time and how often do you need it and when do you need it and how do you need it? And we literally wrote it on the board. And so it's on the board like, these are the things that are quality time and this is how much of it you need. And it sounds weird, but when I can point to what you said you needed and I know I'm giving it to you, you can't possibly be mad at me.
Yeah.
So like, but it actually worked very, very well of that. But putting the phone down is like the main thing.
Yeah.
Putting that phone down, disconnecting.
And not even like Netflix. Like that don't count as quality time. Like there is bonding time. Like there's nothing wrong with watching a movie with your girl, but like especially I got to imagine if you have kids or something, it's like real one-on-one time of like, this is the person I fell in love with. This is my best friend.
And you're actually present. You're not thinking about this. Because so much of the time we spend with our loved ones, we're actually just really wishing we were back doing this. Totally. And so like turning the phone off, like I'll leave mine upstairs on the charger upstairs. And when I get off work, like I literally get off work. I work like a 9 to 5 now. And I get off work and I put my phone away and I spend those next 2 hours with the fam. And then I'll go up and check it once like dinner's done. And then I'm back with the fam. And then once they go to sleep, I could check it one more time. And then even that, I don't leave my phone in my room when I sleep. I leave it charging in the kitchen. You know, so like those things make a huge difference of like just being present. Because so much of the time we're not.
I'm taking notes over here. This is
You know
great.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Love that.
It took me a while to figure it out, but
Yeah. But bro, I'll say this. When I'm 25, tough luck. Tough luck, baby. You're not getting no quality time. I'm trying to accomplish something.
How you think we got this house?
Yeah, how you think we got here? You
all
know?
I do is win, 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 no matter what.
Yeah. So like, yeah, you know, take it with a grain of salt. If you got visions and goals and you got it, you know, you got a new little shawty snap that's trying to tell you something and you ain't hearing it, chase your dreams, young man.
Oh man.
But if you really trying to make it work, you just once again you got to listen. And sometimes when you feel like you're not on the same page, you got to pull out the notepad and write it down.
Amen.
Wow.
Put a definition next to it.
Went right into relationship advice. Well, I think that's where we can put a ribbon on this and end it. But that's man, we appreciate you coming through, dude.
Do you? I know do you want to shout out some of the artists that you're managing right now? I know we talked about Minelli, but I know there's some.
Yeah. I manage Michael Minelli. Recently started managing Nobigdyl, Jon Keith, and Indie Tribe, which I'm so excited about, and we got dope. So much going on, and that's why I'm out here right now. And it's been insane. Like, I've been managing them for 2 months, and it's insane. For sure. But it's dope. Like, all 3 of them were on my Spotify Wrapped.
Love that.
So, like, to have three
How
of,
dope is that?
three of my top 5.
Your fans.
And it's not like you were managing Dill and them 18 months ago, so that would have been on your spot. That's
exactly. Yeah. And I tried to sign Dill in 2017. I told you. So it's a full circle moment, and it's great to also be repping Christian artists and just artists that I believe in. So it's cool that I manage 4 of my top 5 artists on Spotify. And low-key, I think the other one was like a Mickey Mouse thing that
I was about to say it's got to be messed up with the kids.
Yeah.
And outside of that, I'll shout it out because I mean you're still doing it, not in the way that we started, but Indie Amplify, like this is the artist community. Our goal is educate artists for free, give them free game, like just try to help because I think like you're figuring out right now, which is what I always struggle with is. There's only so much time. I can only give so much of one-on-one time to artists. Yeah. So how do you help the masses? Yeah. A lot of times it's making media, making podcasts, and like I love the fact that you've stayed consistent with that from 2020 or whenever that was that you first did it. Yeah. And like everybody follow Indie Amplify on Instagram and TikTok and all that because you do speak game. And on my side, I just gotta say like I'm proud of the man you are today.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Likewise.
All right. Appreciate you, bro.
Good stuff.
Sign us off, Jay Griff.
What's up? Sign us off. I just want to shout out.
Good job, Jay Griff. All right, that's it. No, go ahead.
No, I just want to shout out you guys. Like, Zach, you were one of the first people to give me an opportunity, and you're how I know Tim, and Tim is how I met everybody here, and this community has really changed the way I view things, and I think all together we're collectively going to change the music industry, and I'm excited to kick ass with you guys. So I just wanted to shout you out.
Damn, you crushed that.
Thanks.
It's fun to kick ass with good people, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dicey.
All right.
Hell yeah.
We're out.